One of the most revolutionary ideas in all of religious history, in all of Tanach, appears in this week's parasha. It reinforces a point that we see time and time again. It's the idea of a brit, a covenant. So unique is this idea that one of the greatest professors of political science, Daniel Elazar, American-Israeli, passed away about 20 years ago, says that the most central idea that has the most to teach about how you organize society, according to Jewish tradition, is that of a covenant. And it must be distinguished, as has famously been said, from a contract. You see, the best the human mind can conjure up is a contract. A contract, said Thomas Hobbes, the famous philosopher of political science, said in his book Leviathan, he said that human beings come together to protect their self-interest. He called it a social contract. Why do we come together? If there wasn't a government, as it says in Pirkei Avot, we'd be swallowing each other up. In order to have a functional society, the only way that the individual can make sure that nothing happens to them is to agree to give up some of their rights to a central government to look after them. It is driven by self-interest. It is a contract. It is there to protect us. We all need to come together to protect our own individual rights and needs. Says Elazar, that is so different from a covenant. The idea of brit in the Torah is about something very different. Rabbi Sachs says that there are three main differences between a social contract and a spiritual covenant. Number one, contracts are conditional. We've got conditions and circumstances. Circumstances change, deal off. Secondly, they're time-bound. It's for a particular time. A covenant is everlasting. It's forever. And thirdly, a contract is driven by mutual self-interest. It's about I and you, but rather a covenant's about us and we. We create an entity of deep commitment to each other. The concept of a brit, says Hashem, the reason I'm bringing you out, Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, I know it's been tough in Mitzrayim, and I know it seems that it's hopeless. Vagam hakimoti et briti, I'm going to establish and fulfill my covenant. And he says it then, va'izkor et briti, I made a brit, a covenant with your forefathers and mothers, the Jewish people, that I will redeem you and bring you out. The connection between God, made it the brit milah, brit bein ha'betarim, and consistently throughout Jewish history, is that I'm deeply committed. You are my people and I'm your God. And yes, sometimes we err, and yes, sometimes we break our commitments, but we don't break the covenant. Because at the heart of the Jewish commitment, says Elazar, at the heart of society is a deep commitment to an everlasting commitment to God and an everlasting commitment to each other. How critical that is today in our relationships. Marriage is also called a brit. It's a commitment that despite the ups and downs and all of the challenges, the ability to invest in the relationship, not for only you and I, but for the sake of we. And may we all, at the heart of not only the deep personal relationships that we cherish, but in terms of us as a Jewish people, especially going forward in Israel, as we face so many challenges in such a divided society, we should know that what binds us together is a brit, goral, a brit amongst ourselves, a brit yud, a brit of destiny with Hashem, because ultimately it is this indivisible part of the unity of the Jewish people which is at the heart of the divine interaction, the brit, the everlasting covenant with Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.